In Parshat Bamidbar, Moshe Rabbeinu organizes the Jewish people as an army for campsites, and also gives the Levites their special service, the temple service. And there's a verse that reads, V'hazar hakarev yumat. If someone is foreign to the service of the Levites, how much the more so if he's foreign to the service of the priests. And he does that service against the command of the Torah, so he is liable to death. V'hazar hakarev, whoever comes close, if you're foreign and you want to be close, and you come close, but Hashem says, no, that's not your function. That's not your shlichus, that's not your thing. He said, if you take that initiative with audacity to come close, as though you're coming close, but really you're not coming close. Not only you're not coming close if you're foreign to that service, but you're even liable to death. This verse is quoted in a very, very famous story that's told in the Talmud about Hillel HaZaken, who was very, very humble. And he was the friend of Shammai. Shammai was a kaptan. Shammai had dinim, severities in his character, holy severities. And the Gemara tells us that actually 3 different cases of Gentiles that came to be converted, that asked to be converted, but each on a certain condition. And if you want to convert, so don't make t'naim, don't make conditions. Just say, I want to sincerely become a Jew. But each one of these 3 Gentiles came and said that I want to convert, but I have my condition. So as soon as Shammai heard that he wants to convert, but he has a condition to convert, so he just pushed them away. No. But when they came to Hillel, who was once more, this is the sign of his humility. So Hillel converted them. The first thing he did is he converted them. And then he took care of their condition. The first story is the story of a convert that said that I only want to receive the written Torah, but not the oral Torah. First he came to Shammai and he said, how many Torahs do you have, you Jews? So he said, we have 2. We have a written Torah, we have an oral Torah. He says, good, I'm going to take the written Torah, not the oral Torah. Just convert me on that account. So he threw him out. He came to Hillel. Hillel says, fine, wonderful. Converted him on the spot. So then he has to now start learning Torah. So the first day he came to Hillel to the base medrash, and Hillel taught him Aleph Beis. It's just like now they have Baal Tshuva that doesn't even know the letters of the Hebrew alphabet, nothing. So the first day Hillel says Aleph Beis Gimel Dalet. So he taught him the first 4 letters in their order. Second day he comes back, he says, let's review what we learned yesterday. What did we learn yesterday? So he says, Bet Aleph Gimel Dalet. So the convert looks at him, but yesterday you taught me a different order. You said it's Aleph Beis Gimel Dalet. Now you're saying it's Beis Aleph Gimel Dalet. He says, just like you believe me, what I tell you, what the order is of the letters, there's no verse in the Torah, in the written Torah, that says what are the orders of the alphabet. So you have to believe me when I tell you what the order of the letters are. So just as you believe me what the order of the letters are, you have to believe me the whole oral Torah. So that was enough. In that way, he rectified the soul of that convert completely. Then is actually the most famous story. A convert comes and says, teach me the whole Torah on one leg, and I'm standing on one foot. So Shammai just throws him out. And Hillel says, no, he converted him. Now I'm going to teach you the whole Torah on one foot. But you don't want other people to do to you, don't do it to anybody else. That's the second most famous story. But the third story is that there was a Gentile walking down the street, and he happened to overhear that the Jewish people, the Jewish students in the Beis Medrash, were learning about the clothing, the beautiful clothing of the Kohen Gadol. They were praising how beautiful all of those 8 clothings 4 of which are golden garbs of the Kohen Gadol wore. So this Gentile thought, well, if the Jews have this Kohen Gadol with all this beautiful clothing, I want to be a Jew and become their high priest. So he came to Shammai and says, please convert me. I want to become a Jew, and just in order, on condition that you make me the high priest. So of course Shammai just threw him out. But then he came to Hillel and I said, great, fine, wonderful. He converted him. You're not a Jew. So what about becoming the high priest? That was his condition. So Hillel says, a king, you can't appoint somebody to be a king if he doesn't know all of the workings, all of the inner secrets of being a king. The same thing for a high priest. You have to learn the whole, before you learn the whole Torah. We can't make you a high priest. So first you have to be very, very learned in all of the laws of the Torah. Then we'll see about you becoming a high priest. Great. So he starts learning until he comes to this verse in this week's Parshat, the verse that we began, V'hazar hakarev yumat. It says, and a foreigner, that if he approaches, tries to come close to a service that is not his service, he is punishable by death. So the convert looks at Hillel, who converted him, and he says, who is this verse referring to? V'hazar hakarev yumat. And Hillel says, Afilu al David melech Israel. He says it's even referring to King David, the king of Israel. Because the king of Israel, even Mashiach, is not a priest and he's not a Levite. And if he assumes the service of a priest or a Levite, as actually was the case in one of the descendants of King David, so he's liable to death. Even Mashiach. If Mashiach tries to become a high priest, and all of a sudden he has a taiva, he has a passion to wear all those 8 beautiful clothes, he's punishable by death, Mashiach himself. So when the convert heard that, V'hazar hakarev yumat, Afilu al David melech Israel, he said, oh, okay, so he put up his hand, he said, if even King David can't be a high priest, so certainly I cannot become a high priest, I'm just a convert. The end of the whole story is, and the Gemara says that these 3 converts met together, had a farbrengen. And the word that they said in that farbrengen when they met together is that would it only be for Shammai, we would be lost souls. But because of the humility of Hillel, we have been taken under the wings of the Shekhinah, of the Divine Presence. So one of the most important things to understand, everybody is like a convert when we do tshuva. You have to understand we're trying to come close and close to Hashem, but everyone has to recognize what his closeness is, how to become close, and not to try to assume what he thinks is close, but really isn't close. And if he tries to become close in a way which is not fitting and proper for him, it's not his shlichut, then it's even the opposite of life. But this verse itself gives us the power to recognize what is our true way, each one's true way to become close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And once, as we said before, there are things that even Mashiach, we all have a spark of Mashiach, but even Mashiach, there are things that he's considered to be a foreigner, a stranger. The word zara is strange. So everybody has that point of inner strangeness in something. That's obviously, that itself is humility, just like Hillel was the epitome of humility, so everyone has to reach that level of humility, that even my Mashiach spark is strange and foreign to certain ways of coming close to God. But I have my way to come close to God. So may each and every one of us find our true way to come close to God and to go full speed ahead to become close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu.